is the best tool ever devised for understanding how the world works.
Science is a very human form of knowledge. We are always at the brink of the node.
Science is a collaborative enterprise spanning the generations. We remember those who prepared the way, seeing for them also.
If you're scientifically literate, the world looks very different to you, and that understanding empowers you.
There's real poetry in the real world. Science is the poetry of reality.
We can do science, and with it, we can improve our lives.
There's real poetry in the real world. Science is the poetry of reality.
The story of humans is the story of ideas that shine light into dark corners.
Scientists love mysteries. They love not knowing.
I don't feel frightened by not knowing things. I think it's much more interesting.
There's a larger universal reality of which we are all a part.
The further we probe into the universe, the more remarkable are the discoveries we make.
The quest for the truth in and of itself is a story that's filled with insights.
There's real poetry in the real world. Science is the poetry of reality.
We can do science, and with it, we can improve our lives.
There's real poetry in the real world. Science is the poetry of reality.
The story of humans is the story of ideas that shine light into dark corners.
From our lonely point in the cosmos, we have, through the power of thought, been able to peer back to a brief moment after the beginning of the universe.
I think that science changes the way your mind works, to think a little more deeply about things.
Science replaces private prejudice with publicly verifiable evidence. There's real poetry in the real world. Science is the poetry of reality.
We can do science, and with it, we can improve our lives. We're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe atomically.
I think nature's imagination is so much greater than man's. He's never gonna let us relax.
We live in an in-between universe where things change alright, but according to patterns, rules, or as we call them, laws of nature.
I'm this guy standing on a planet. Really, I'm just a speck compared with a star. The planet is just another speck. To think about all of this, to think about the vast emptiness of space. There's billions and billions of stars, billions and billions of specks. The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. The cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. We are a way of the cosmos to know itself.
Across the sea of space, the stars are others. We've traveled this way before, and there is much to be learned.
We're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe atomically.
I find it elevating and exhilarating to discover that we live in a universe which permits the evolution of molecular machines as intricate and subtle as we.
I know that the molecules in my body are traceable to phenomenon in the cosmos that makes me want to grab people in the street and say, have you heard this?
The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. The cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself.
There's this tremendous mass of waves all over in space, which is the light bouncing around the room, going from one thing to the other, and it's all really there, really there. But you gotta stop and think about it, about the complexity, to really get the pleasure. It's all really there, really there. The inconceivable nature. To think about all of this, to think about the vast emptiness of space. There's billions and billions of stars, billions and billions of specks.
The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. The cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself.
Across the sea of space, the stars are other suns. We have traveled this way before, and there is much to be learned.
Let's take a trip to examine this common basis of life, a voyage to investigate the molecular machinery at the heart of life on Earth.
All life is related, and it enables us to construct with confidence the complex tree that represents the history of life. Our planet, the Earth, is, as far as we know, unique in the universe. It contains life. Here, plants and animals proliferate in such numbers that we still have not even named all the different species. Darwin's great insight revolutionized the way in which we see the world. We now understand why there are so many different species.
Every cell is a triumph of natural selection, and we're made of trillions of cells. In us is a little universe. Those are some of the things that molecules do. Given 4 billion years of evolution, we are, each of us, a multitude.
Now, how did the molecules of life arise?
It began in the sea some 3,000 million years ago. Complex chemical molecules began to clump together.
These were the seeds from which the tree of life developed. They were able to split, replicating themselves as bacteria do.
The secrets of evolution are time and death. There's an unbroken thread that stretches from those first cells to us. The secrets of evolution are time and death. There's an unbroken thread that stretches from those first cells to us. Every cell is a triumph of natural selection, and we're made of trillions of cells. In us is a little universe. Those are some of the things that molecules do. Given 4 billion years of evolution, we are, each of us, a multitude.
There isn't a sharp line dividing humans from the rest of the animal kingdom. It's a very wuzzy line. It's a very wuzzy line. It's getting wuzzier all the time. We find animals doing things that we, in our arrogance, used to think was just human. It's a very wuzzy line, it's getting wuzzier all the time.
Every cell is a triumph of natural selection, and we're made of trillions of cells. In us is a little universe. Those are some of the things that molecules do. Given 4 billion years of evolution, we are each of us a multitude. Every cell is a triumph of natural selection, and we're made of trillions of cells. In us is a little universe.
Our planet, the Earth, is, as far as we know, unique in the universe. It contains life. Its continued survival now rests in our hands.
Man is a singular creature. He has a set of gifts which make him unique among the animals, so that, unlike them, he is not a figure in the landscape. He is the shape of the landscape.
We are all children of Africa. Children of Africa. They say this is where it all began. This is where it all began.
In a parched African landscape, man first put his foot to the ground, to the ground, to the ground, to the ground.
Africa was our only home for tens of thousands of years, until a small handful of people made their way. Ocean of Africa.
These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space. These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space.
We are all children of Africa. Children of Africa. This landscape has been home to humans 200,000 years.
We have come so far. All of this is cause for great celebration. We've come so far. This is a story about us.
Those early Europeans were people like you and me. But it is humbling when you see the challenges they faced. People like you and me overcame the Neanderthals. People like you and me made it through the Ice Age.
These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space.
We are not the only beings with personalities, minds and feelings. Chimpanzees have very clear personalities, minds and feelings.
Take a chimp brain, feed away, and let it go 2 or 3 more rounds of division. Out comes symphonies and ideology.
We are not the only beings.
Everything that we are that distinguishes us from chimps emerges from that 1% difference in DNA.
People like you and me overcame the Neanderthals. People like you and me made it through the Ice Age.
These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space. These beings with soaring imagination eventually flung themselves and their machines into interplanetary space.
Using his burgeoning intelligence, this most successful of all mammals has exploited the environment to produce food for an ever-increasing population. Instead of controlling the environment for the benefit of the population, Perhaps it's time we control the population to allow the survival of the environment.
Well, we tried to find this guy, and we even left messages with his mother and grandmother somewhere in Texas, but we could never find him. Take a look at Juan Carlos's conversation with the UFO guy.
What do you think? Do you believe in UFOs?
Oh, definitely. I'm planning a trip. We're going out to Air Force One. Air Force One, where they found all that stuff. They're out there, man. I'm flying in a plane, and I'm always hallucinating. But who really knows what I'm looking at? You
think there's little green men out there?
No little green men too. They could be made of water. I don't even know. Who knows, dude? Who knows?
But there's no proof. Just people's accounts.
You're right, there's no proof. But there's no proof of Jesus. That's just kind of the way I see things. I'm planning a trip. We're going out to Air Force One. Air Force One, where they found all that stuff. They're out there, man. I seen them. I've been out there, Aurora, Texas. They're out there, man. I seen them. They got them little graves and stuff. I'm flying in a plane, and I'm always hallucinating. But who really knows what I'm looking at? You know what I'm saying? I'm planning a trip. We're going out to Air Force One. Air Force One, where they found all that stuff. They're out there, man.
My dad taught me from a very early age, be at one with the snake. Feel it, son. And I am. Woo! I gotta get the camera. I've gotta be right in there. I have to get right fair smack into the action. Here we go, look at this. I'm gonna push it to the limit. Danger. I jumped on a croc under the water. Hit me in the head, scarred me here. I'm on top of the world. I'm gonna push it to the limit. I get to do the wildest things in the world. I'm gonna push it to the limit. You need to come with me. I wanna share it with you. Come with me. Share my wildlife with me. Woo. This is just such a special moment. This is what I want to share with you. All I want to do is show you the beauty of this animal. I'm going to have to be so careful here. See the way they jump? Did you see that? Holy smokes! I've been bitten, pee on, jumped on, whacked. See the way they jump? Did you see that? Holy smokes! No two fingers are the same. They've been snapped, split, chopped. I'll stay on that river. I just won't stop because I feel so passionate about all of our wildlife. Danger. I'm on top of the world. I'm gonna push it to the limit. I get to do the wildest things in the world. I'm gonna push it to the limit. You need to come with me. I wanna share it with you. Come with me. Share my wildlife with me. Look at the information that I can gather from this one poo. He's looking, whack, strike. Wiggle. Tighten up, scrape. This is his territory. This is his terrain. He's the biggest predator out here. Oh, you're gonna bite me? Oh, you're gonna bite me? Holy smokes! Conservation is my job, my life, my whole persona. And it's my job, it's my ambition. I'm on top of the world. I'm gonna push it to the limit. I get to do the wildest things in the world. I'm gonna push it to the limit. I'm on top of the world. I'm gonna push it to the limit. I get to do the wildest things in the world. This is like a dream come true. You need to come with me. I wanna share it with you. Come life with me.
Mr. Armstrong, I do realize that when you were on the moon, you had very little time for gazing upwards. But could you tell us something about what the sky actually looks like from the moon, the sun, the earth, the stars, if any, and so on?
We were flying through the moon shadow, a deep black sky, a deep black sky. We were flying through the moon shadow, into the light, into the light. We were flying through the moon shadow, a deep black sky, a deep black sky. We were flying through the moon shadow, into the light. The earth is beautiful, blue and beautiful, peeking out from behind the moon. The earth is beautiful, blue and beautiful, covered with clouds, covered with clouds. Crater rims overlying other crater rims. No storms, no snow, no high winds. Further, higher above the horizon. Further, higher, further, higher. Further, higher above the horizon. We were flying through the moon shadow. Blue and beautiful, blue and beautiful. We were flying through the moon shadow. Blue and beautiful, blue and beautiful. We were flying through the moon shadow.
This is the beginning of a new era, when man understands the universe around him, and the beginning of the era when man understands himself.
Long before dinosaurs existed, sharks roamed the waters. Few other species on Earth inspire so much respect and fear.
Cruising underwater, and they have these huge muscles, cruising underwater. And so they see this thing kind of moving.
They can see you in pitch blackness. They hear your heart pounding inside your chest.
It's gonna do a lot of damage, even if it doesn't bite you.
They can sniff out a drop of blood. They can see you in pitch blackness.
Cruising underwater, and so they see this thing kind of moving. Boom! Bam! They get it.
It's the bite of the great white. Bite of the great white.
Almost a death blow without even biting it.
The bite of the great white.
Taking it by surprise, inflicting a massive fight. Taking it by surprise, inflicting a massive fight.
Great whites can sense blood in the water 3 miles away. And they don't keep us waiting long. And they don't keep us waiting long.
When the white sharks want something, they really go hard to get it. If they wanted us, nobody would get away. Nobody would get away.
Cruising underwater, and they have these huge muscles, cruising underwater. And so they see this thing kind of moving. Boom! Bam! They get it.
It's the bite of the great white.
Almost a death blow without even biting it.
The bite of the great white. Bite of the great white.
Boom! Bam! They get it.
It's the bite of the great white.
Almost a death blow without even biting it.
It's the bite of the great white.
We still have a lot to learn about these mysterious and misunderstood creatures. Scientists continue to unravel their secrets.
You're breathing. The wind is blowing. The trees are waving. Your nerves are tingling. The individual and the universe are inseparable. But the curious thing is, very few people are aware of it. Everything in nature depends on everything else. So it's interconnected. We confuse ourselves as living organisms which are one with this whole universe with something we call our personality. Now, what is our personality? And our fundamental self is not something just inside the skin. It's everything around us with which we connect. When you look out of your eyes at nature happening out there, you're looking at you. That's the real you, the you that goes on of itself. When you look out of your eyes at nature happening out there, you're looking at you. That's the real you, the you that goes on of itself. Now listen, it's absolutely necessary that we let go of ourselves, and it can't be done. Not by anything that we call doing it, acting, willing, or even just accepting. It seems that the human being really has a very simple kind of mind. Nature is wiggly. Everything wiggles, and all this wiggliness is too complicated. Everything in nature depends on everything else. So it's interconnected. When you look out of your eyes at nature happening out there, you're looking at you. That's the real you, the you that goes on of itself. When you look out of your eyes at nature happening out there, you're looking at you. That's the real you, the you that goes on of itself. It's absolutely necessary that we let go of ourselves, and it can't be done. Not by anything that we call doing it, acting, willing, or even just accepting things. You're breathing. The wind is blowing. The trees are waving. Your nerves are tingling.
We're so self-important. So self-important. Everybody's gonna save something now.
Save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. Save the trees, save the bees, save the
Everybody's gonna save something now.
Save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. Save the trees, save the bees, save the
Everybody's gonna save something now.
Save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. Save the trees, save the bees, save the
Everybody's gonna save something now.
Save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. Save the trees, save the bees, save
Everybody's gonna save something now.
Save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. Save the trees, save the bees, save the
Everybody's gonna save something now.
Gotta worry about the little things, bees, trees. Gotta worry about the little things, whales, snails. Gotta worry about the little things, bees, trees. Gotta worry about the little things, whales, snails. Gotta worry about the little things. I can dream, can I? I can dream, I can dream. I can dream, I can I? I can dream, can I?
Humans have always gazed up at the stars. For thousands of years, we thought they were as close as the sun and the moon. But now, we know just how vast the universe is. The closest star is about 25 trillion miles away. The first people who journey to the stars will be venturing into the absolute unknown. And perhaps for the first time, traveling faster than light. Around the world, scientists are testing new technologies and probing deep into the heart of physics to find a way for us to escape our island, Earth. To explore this final frontier will never be dimmed. And one day, we will reach it. Because what man can imagine, man can do.
There is a point. Is there a point to all this? Let's find a point. Is this real? Or is this just a ride? The world is like a ride. You think it's real? It's just a ride. We can change it any turn we want. It's only a choice between fear and love. The world is like a ride. You think it's real? It's just a ride. We can change it any turn we want. It's only a choice between fear and love. Life goes up and down, round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored. It's up and down, round and round, and it's very loud. Don't worry, don't be afraid, it's just a ride. And we can change it any turn we want. It's only a choice between fear and love. Why are we here?
I think we're part of a greater wisdom than we will ever understand. A higher order. Call it what you want. Know what I call it? The Big Electron. The Big Electron. The Big Electron. It doesn't punish, doesn't reward, it doesn't judge at all. It just is, and so are we. For a little while, the ride goes up and down, round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored. Up and down, round and round, and it's very loud. Don't worry, don't be afraid, it's just a ride. And we can change it any turn we want. It's only a choice between fear and love. The Big Electron. It doesn't punish, doesn't reward, it doesn't judge at all. It just is, and so are we, for a little while.
Since the earliest time, man has imagined this moment. The moment when his fellow man would make the first journey to the moon. Now the time had come. In the 6th decade of the 20th century, the ancient dream was to become a reality.
Let us go to the new worlds together, not as new worlds to be conquered, but as a new adventure to be shared.
Around the world, nearly 1 billion people watched this moment on television as the first man from Earth prepared to set foot upon the moon.
Engine arm off, 13 is in. We copy you down, Eagle. First and Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind.
See it as a beginning of a new age.
The mission was successfully completed. The Eagle had landed the first men on the moon, and Columbia had returned them safely to Earth. Wherever man journeys tomorrow across the ocean of our universe, history will remind him that Apollo 11 was mankind's first encounter with a new world.